recording now, so, keep everything under control.
I'd like
So,
to tell everyone that the field trip this Saturday to the lighthouse, Piedras Blancas, right now the tour tickets are all taken. So that's for the 19th. So those of you that have gotten your tickets, I'll be seeing you. I think I said 6:30 or some other ungodly hour, but to get a morning start on it. If not, we'll see you at the lighthouse at the meeting time. I think it's 9:45.
Where are you meeting at 6:30, Penny?
I'd have to double check the galleon, but I think it was meeting at the Nipomo, the Teff Street Starbucks, so that we could go up and see the elephant seals and stop at Cambria to see the lens from the lighthouse before we actually showed up there, and to give us some time to do the old motel there and the beach scenes before the tour starts from. It starts from the old motel there next to the lighthouse.
Penny, do you want me to send out the flyer again?
Oh, would you please, Rosie, with a note that it looks like the tour tickets are all taken?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
Penny, can I ask one question? Okay, so I buy the ticket, but when I go on the website, so you buy the ticket, and then you have to book the tour, and there were different hours.
There were different what?
There are different tours. Because I remember that I buy the ticket, and then you say, and then on the website they say you have to meet in the motel, and then you have to book the tour, because not that everyone can go all together.
Oh, well, I'm not aware of that when I got my ticket. So,
I didn't.
Flavio, how about I'll look at that after the meeting, and then Rosie, I'll get to you to see if there's something that needs more clarification. Thank you, Flavio.
Yeah, you should have had to select one when you bought your ticket, because it had different times, and you were supposed to select the 9:30 one, right, Penny?
Yeah, there's only one a day, I thought.
That's what I thought.
I don't know. I can't remember. I just know that you had to select a time.
Yeah, that's what I remember too.
Yeah.
Did you get a confirmation, Flavio?
Yeah. I have the confirmation. No question about this. In fact, they say this is your ticket number, blah 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 blah. I could be that I misunderstand. If I really understand, is that okay? There were the total number of the people that can go the ticket, but then apparently, what I understand is that it's not that all the 50 people can go all together. No, they can go like 10 by 10. So you have to enroll in one time. But in any case,
I think I know what you're thinking about. That was to go into the lighthouse building.
Okay.
That's what I think you're talking about. That they're only letting so many people at one time within the building.
Exactly. Yeah, they say no, we are not allowed too many people, so you have to book the hour when you want to go inside. I was confused because I say, well, okay. But so in any case,
I'll verify it though. I'll see what you're talking about and make sure that we don't have another step to take.
Okay. So in any case, we meet. I remember that yes, we meet here in Nipomo at 6:30. I think it was Saturday.
Yeah, probably. Terrible time.
No problem.
Good.
Anything else?
Alan?
Well, so shall we start the competition?
Sure, that sounds good.
And Chana, would you like someone to introduce you, or would you like to introduce yourself?
Okay, I can introduce myself, or
Chana
can.
Anna and I have known each other for quite a few years. We're both associated through Adobe, and she's an amazing artist, digital artist, instructor, painter, just a fantastic person. I mean, I can't gush enough about her.
Thank you.
But I'll let you finish up because I don't know anything that you do. But you're wonderful.
Oh, thank you. I feel the same about Chuck. I know him forever, and we are ACPs together. And he's the one who takes all the beautiful pictures for all our meetings. And we so miss to see each other because the last few things, I mean, we're online, and actually this year too, Adobe Max will be online again, which is kind of like sad. So what I do, I'm an artist and a designer. I started everything from painting and doing photo etching and all kind of stuff like that. Nowadays, what I do, I teach in USC at Annenberg, and I teach mainly design and the Adobe Certified Professional tests. So we are finishing actually Friday the semester and doing the test after that. And being that the last 8 years I've been writing the tests for Adobe, so that was a big chore for me to do. And that's why I passed the test, because I'm writing them. So that's why I have a lot of little things next to my name, because hey, sometimes I don't know how to answer my own questions, but that's part of the job that I've been doing. And then actually in the summer, I'm going to start teaching in Freedom, which is the Fashion Institute downtown LA, and I'm going to start teaching them some design. And we're establishing the certification also over there. Other than that, what else do? I paint. I have a catering company. So I cook. I have 2 girls. I have a husband and a dog, and this is me.
Busy lady.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm busy. Yeah, trying to be busy. It's time to stay out of trouble, right?
Yes. Well, we're so happy to have you judge for us.
Oh yeah, I'm very happy to do that, and hopefully I'll do a good job, because it's very difficult to judge for me. But we'll talk about it.
All right.
Okay, we are recording, aren't we?
Yeah, we've been recording for 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So okay, so I'm going to share the screen now, and we're going to start with the color photos, and then we'll go to monochrome. And like I said, Hannah, you will see a run through, and then when we're through, when we go back to the first image, then you'll start giving us your comments and start judging them and giving us a score, the score that you've rated them on. So let's see if we can do that.
Oh, and you did tell her that there's a theme for machines.
Oh yeah, that's right. The theme is machines. So hang on here. Okay, now I'm going to start recycling through them. Okay, I should have mentioned that there are 18 photos in the color category. So now we're going ahead and you can start giving us your comments and screen
Okay.
images.
This one
So
is
first of all,
this one is titled A Little Bit of Corrosion. Sorry.
yeah, I have actually all the titles and I wrote it down, and I was able to go through it this afternoon. And one thing that I wanted to say in general, and that's why I was laughing, I said, judging, because I've been judging a lot of competition lately, creative jam and things like this. And one of the things that's hard to judge, and especially images and photography competition, because for me, in the first run that I have, I kind of like them all. I'm like looking at them like, wow, this is so cool. And the colors, the composition, the textures, everything is kind of looking so great. And then I go again and I know I have to judge it. So here I go. So I kind of didn't do very high scores, and it's not because I was trying to be tough on it. It's just because maybe get an encouragement to try to do better later when you start working. So, like let's say this image, when I first looked at it, kind of looked at it, it's so much corrosion and everything. And of course, I like the texture as an artist. I like the colors. I like the shapes and the shades even there. But I didn't, it just, this image kind of like didn't talk to me in terms of the story is telling. And then I'm always looking at images to get some impact and make it move me in a certain way. So I kind of felt like it's just another machine slash texture image. So I kind of felt that the story kind of behind that was, I mean, the technical stuff were looking good. Composition didn't have anything very special to me. And then the impact didn't do a big impact on me in terms of images. So I kind of gave it a score of 7. And I don't know if I'm putting down some people, but that was kind of like my score for this one.
Okay.
Farm machinery.
Yeah, the farm machinery, the first thing I looked at it, I'm like, wow, this is so kind of cool. What I really liked is the composition. I kind of started looking at the image in the foreground and start discovering little things in the background. And for me, it was kind of like the difference between uses good lighting and shadows and the contrast. I start kind of discovering more stuff in the horizon, which I really liked. I like the shadow of the machine that I have, but I didn't really see kind of like, I would love to see a little bit more detail for that. So in general, my score for it was 13.
Okay.
John Deere.
Okay. So I know it is a famous, very famous, it kind of like this one in the beginning when I looked at it, I said, wow, because I'm an abstract artist and it looked for me kind of like abstract. And what I really like is the colors and the shapes that kind of contradict with each other and unifying together. But I felt kind of for a second that it's a little bit too busy, the way it was kind of flowing. It was nice, but I feel like for me was just another composition of another image. The multicolor, like I said before, I really liked, but I kind of didn't have like a unifying flow with it. So I gave it 9.
Okay.
I hope I'm not disappointing you guys. Okay.
So lathe.
Okay. This one in the beginning, I kind of like, wow, looked at it and started liking it very much. I'm not a machine person. So that's another thing that was kind of hard for me to judge, kind of like subject like that. I really I saw some nice stuff, but I had some issues with the kind of like the composition that I have there. I didn't have, um, like a lot of focus in the area that I have. I did like the area around the red stuff on it, but altogether, it didn't make a big impact on me. And I also gave it 9.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Left
get
out
better.
to pasture.
I liked it in the beginning. I just did feel that I wanted more contrast. So the idea was really perfect for me. I kind of liked the way the colors are going. I like the grass around. I really wanted a little more kind of, I don't know how to say it, even a little more some depth. And then I wanted something that's going to be a little more compelling. I like the light, but I wanted more of transition with the sky, kind of like something like to say, whoa, into it. It didn't wow me, so I did get it a 10.
Locomotive.
This one was in the beginning one of my favorites, and then I started investigating it a little bit more. Really liked a lot of stuff in it. I really loved the shapes. Really like the way you look inside the gear and see all the details of the wheels. I really like the depth. I felt it's very, very compelling. Loved the reflections that go all the way down the area that I have there. So I gave this one 13.
Old junk.
Okay. So this one was kind of confusing for me a little bit. First of all, the title. And I know you guys gonna laugh. Who's the old junk here? Is that concentrating on the person? It's concentrating on the junkyard that you have there. Kind of didn't feel like the composition came together. They wanted to depict kind of like the old stuff. So I would have loved if I didn't see the guy in there, like pointing into it. I felt like he's out of space. I also would have loved if I saw a little bit more foreground with the leaves and kind of more focus on the old junk. Altogether, when I kind of looked in my eyes, it looked to me kind of like one big thing, and it took a while for me to see kind of the old junk. So I would have loved to see a little bit more detail here. So I gave that a 7.
Petrolosaurus.
That one, I thought it's a great idea that didn't come into fruition while they're doing it, because I saw here kind of like the exploration and the element, like looking about um, nature and man and nature and machine and all kind of things together. I would have loved that if this photographer that worked on it would really work on it a little bit more. I thought the idea was amazing, but I didn't think it was persecuted to kind of like all the way. So I gave it a 7.
Quietly passing time.
This one I really liked a lot. And I tell you why. First of all, the first time I looked at it, my eyes looked at the big construction there and really looks kind of like, what is it? Is it a machine? It's an old-fashioned machine. And then the more I start looking into it, I start discovering more stuff. So my eye went into the big area, and then I started exploring more. And on the right side, I saw another piece of the machine. And in the horizon, another piece of machinery. And then I have the sun on the left side coming out and reflecting some light, and the shooting stars, and kind of like the depth of field. And also, I like the movement of the grass. I felt like wind going through it. So it's really, this image talked to me a lot. And I'm thinking, if I would like to frame something like this and start looking at it. So I gave that 19.
Sun sets on an era.
This one also really impressed me a lot. The machine is, first of all, very, very interesting. I have the metal in one side, all the textures that really depicted in the front. Then the other side where the driver sits, it looked like wood. I don't know where they got machines like this. Maybe they combine it together in Photoshop. Really looks so amazing. The textures on the wheels, all kind of like the details, then the detail on the grass, then the sky and the light, and all together the image kind of like made me happy because it had a lot of colors and almost like background and colors, and then the machine. And even I'm not a machine person, it kind of made me happy, this image. So I gave this one 17.
Automotive art.
I wanted really to like this one a lot. It just felt like it was kind of like almost not done. I like the reflection that goes into the left side, some of the abstract reflection on the right side, but altogether it just didn't move me. It didn't tell any kind of like big story for me, and I actually gave that an 8.
Out to pasture.
Love this one a lot because this one kind of like almost look at to me as a painting, and as somebody kind of like took parts of a machine with a lot of textures, and then when I started looking at it a little bit more, I saw like the cobwebs on it, and I saw a little bit more texture and a little more texture. I really liked that the background was kind of not focused and the machine was focused, and part of the machinery and the texture were not focused at all. So it kind of gave me a feeling of old and new and maybe nature and machine, hard and soft, and kind of all together gave me like almost like a magic hour feeling to it. And I gave that 16.
Retired.
Love this one a lot too. Really liked the way it was very compelling. I love the color. I love it when it started from kind of very dark and goes down, 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 kind of lighter blues. I liked how the light is shining on the machinery, on the wheel. I like all of a sudden that it looks to the side and it's more kind of colorful stuff. I like the composition a lot, and I like kind of like the difference between having metal and brick, maybe something like wood, and bring some kind of like together. It was very powerful. So it's kind of like the brick and the stone, the light was illuminating the main subject, and the background was a little more subtle in some places. So I gave that 15.
Excuse me, 15, 1-5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Singer.
Really love that this one. I really thought it's a great image. Like the way the old Singer machine is kind of depicted here, especially the way where the needles are and kind of like it's almost moving together. I also really liked that it depicted kind of the old texture of old machines from years ago, but I kind of wanted a little bit more in the composition. I felt that the empty areas were a little bit too much. And all the way up there, there was some detail, and I kind of wanted it to give me a little bit more. And I gave that 12.
Tractor guts.
This one was almost reminded me the other one, which was maybe it's the same photographer that did that. It's almost like the one that has the main one that has the deer, John Deere, kind of like a lot of square areas and a lot of nice colors, but really didn't really talk to me again. It was abstract, it was okay. It didn't tell me any story. And me, I like to find a little story that the image, even if it's just a machine, it's going to move me. So I gave this one 8.
Waiting for work.
Very nice composition. Really liked the machine going in the middle. I liked kind of like the gradation in the sky. It reminded me the other one that has the machine in the middle. Almost I felt it's almost from the same scenery. And once again, maybe it's the same photographer. Like the way the grass is and kind of the composition. I like the way that the front is kind of like clear and the back is going back to the other area. And then I gave that 12.
Sparks.
The sparks I really liked in the beginning, and then I'm starting not to like it all the way. I don't know why. It kind of sparked me in a weird way. I like the way the colors came out. I like the light. I liked kind of the composition that was in there. I like that the dark is really dark. And then I was waiting for something more again. So in this one, I gave it 13.
Woody worship.
Love Woody a lot. I thought Woody is really, really cool. I really like the work that the photographer did with the kind of the shiny stars on it. Love the reflections, the color. I really liked that the background was kind of diffused and moved Woody kind of back to the front. Also liked kind of like the wood stuff. Kind of like to see that, and I really loved Woody, and I gave that 14.
Okay. So what we're going to do now is go back and we'll get the places on the photos. So here's
We need to, let me see if I have any ties to break.
No, there's maybe
No
some
ties.
ties. Yeah,
There is no ties. Sure.
no ties.
Very
Yeah.
good. Let me,
I can tell you because I
Let
wrote
me-
it down too.
yeah, let me,
I did my
let's
homework
get
the whole
the
afternoon.
pieces.
Well, it took a while because I kind of, like I said before, first run, loved it all. Second run, loved it most. Then even toward the end, I still like some of them and said, why did I choose that and not the other one? And who was talking to me? And this is why I said, like, as an artist, it's so difficult to judge art because judge art is on the eyes of the beholder. I know people like hate my artwork. And then even though I think I'm a good artist, people just look at it like, what? And then some people love it. So again, the same thing. I've been in so many competition and people look at me like, are you kidding us? And some people love it. So same thing I feel. And I just love all the images. And I think I'm giving kudos to people that just do it all the time. I'm like, really, really feel inspired by all the images.
very good.
Okay,
So let's.
so I'm ready.
Okay, so here we go. Go ahead. Go ahead.
A little
Elaine.
bit of corrosion by Penny Powell. Farm Machinery by Chuck Ubley. John Deere by Cheryl Decker. Lathe by Tony Martindale. Left Out to Pasture by Rosie Brancasio. Locomotive by Ed E. Powell. Old Junk by Alan Upshaw. Patrolosaurus by Frank Tromp. Quietly Passing Time by Elaine Calvert and first place.
Good going, Elaine.
Thank you. Sunsets on an Era by Gregory Doudna and second place.
Good going, Greg. Nice.
Looks good.
Thank you.
Automotive Art by Gregory Doudna. Out to Pasture and third place by Penny Paul.
Good going, Penny.
Thank you.
Retired and honorable mention by Ed E. Powell. Singer by Chuck Ubley. Tractor Guts by Cheryl Decker. Waiting for Work by Rosie Brancasio. Sparks by Chuck Ubley. Woody Worship by Gregory Doudna.
And I think that's the end.
That's it. That was the
Yeah.
last.
All right.
Okay.
Good
Very
work,
nice.
everybody. Nice
Yeah.
images.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go now. Hang on a second here. We're going to go now to, I'm going to go down to the monochrome images. Oops. Doesn't want to, what's going on here? Okay, hang, it's just being slow, I guess. Let's see what happens here. There we go.
Like all.
Sure.
Okay, so we'll start again, start over. There are 14 of the monochrome images.
Okay, this one is titled 1940s Workhorse.
I just want to say something about the monochrome. I think in general, the monochrome was like kind of like almost my favorites because they like so kind of like dramatic and compelling, and just seeing kind of like the drastic stuff. It's just amazing, and I do like kind of black and white and monochrome images to start with. So this one, I thought the light was amazing, and the drastic contrast between the darks and the lights. I love the way the grass is kind of moving around and almost kind of flowing. I love the sky going in. I thought there was kind of like a rhythm in it, and I gave that 17.
Boat at Anchor, Morro Bay.
I really, really liked this one. And this one, it's kind of like really, I almost felt like it is an old-fashioned kind of painting or etching. I kind of looked, I mean, and I've been a lot in Morro Bay. I like the big kind of like stuff on the background and the boat and the water. and all kind of the stuff here. And then I gave that 18.
Let's see, by the barrel or by the pound?
This one, it really did not move me. It was kind of like almost remind me the other one from before, and I felt like it was a great idea, but kind of like not almost for me. It wasn't kind of completed, and I gave that an 8.
Cement plant and star trails.
Like this one, I mean, it was kind of hard for me to look at it in the beginning because it was so dark on my screen. So I have to go back and forth to other areas. I did like the transition. I like the lines all the way down. I like kind of like the light going through and the shadows, almost like reminded me kind of like an old-fashioned etching. And I gave that 14.
Chain drive.
Chain drive also brought me back to the other images that look like part of a composite of something. For me as an artist, this kind of part do not talk so much. Did like the way the photographer kind of like looking at the blacks and the whites and the shadows and some of the details, and I gave that a 10.
Drill press.
Once again, this one too, I kind of wanted a little bit more, especially in the right side. I felt it was a little too dark. I didn't see a lot of the details. I liked the drill in the front that gave a lot of light, but some of the areas I felt like they were kind of like not there and not as clear, and I gave that a 10 as well.
Locomotive.
Again, with this one, I felt like it's like the other one. I wanted to like this one a little bit more because I wanted it kind of to move, and I see kind of like the areas kind of together. I see the back, it's gonna be kind of darker a little bit, and still did not move me enough to give it a better score, and I gave that 11.
Now that's a tank.
Yep, that's a tank. And I did like, actually, I love the title. That gave kind of like, wow, that's a tank. And it's really kind of mass and big and kind of like almost hovering and doing the entire kind of composition of the image. I like the stuff that I have some dirt in the front and then trees in the background. And it's almost kind of like shooting me all the way. And I gave that a 12.
Spokes.
I looked at it and I loved the texture. And I love the intricate that the texture going to inside each other and kind of the subject, but maybe I would love it more if it was part of one of my paintings or drawing and not just as a standalone, as an image. It was kind of difficult for me to kind of understand what a photographer wanted to relay, and I gave that a 9.
Carousel number 1.
Oh, there's a carousel number 2 or no, right? Only number 1.
Not in this competition.
Yeah, okay. Loved this image. And so I can talk about it again and again. First of all, I listened to the music here. I heard the carousel doing the clink, 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 clink around. I saw the horses moving around, especially the one in the front there. I saw the people almost talking to each other. There was kind of a story here and friendship and togetherness, and people are celebrating. And then the background has these beautiful textures, and then the horses, and then all the stuff that I had there. really, this image really moved me all the way, and I gave that 19.
Router.
The router was kind of like, I felt like it was okay composition, but I felt like almost I've seen that, I've been there. Where's the point of view of the photographer? What am I seeing over here? Wasn't that crazy about the image for me. I felt like the blacks and the white and the transition was really, really great. So the technique was really awesome. And I gave that 12.
Smoking.
Really loved this one a lot right away. And then kind of that's one of them that I kind of almost wanted to kind of like tie it with another one that I have. And this one is, I like the smoke, I like the flames, I like the way they were talking to each other. I like that kind of like things were moving around and doing, I mean, I kind of like also the duotone, and I gave that 15.
What was that again?
15.
Thank
1
you.
5.
Thank you.
The Weaver's Room.
This composition really blew me away. I looked at it and there were so many things to discover there. I started from the front and I saw the wheel and the wood and all the pieces of wood and the pieces of cotton on the thing, and then the cotton on the right side, and then the weaver loom in the background, and then the walls, and then the cement walls, and the light through the window. Everything all together kind of like really moved me. And I felt there was a story there, and I almost wanted to see the weavers doing some stuff there. And I felt like there were people there who were doing some stuff there before. So it was telling me a story, and I gave that a 16.
Landing at LAX with Sunburst.
Nice composition, really fun. I live next to LAX, so I kind of hear them landing all the time. And I see the sun. I like the sun coming down all the way. I like kind of like the plane coming in the point of view, and I gave that a 12.
Okay.
Okay.
So no ties. Okay.
Okay, so here we go.
Oh, this is titled 1940s Workhorse by Elaine Calvert in third place.
Very good.
Good going, Elaine.
Thank you. Boat at Anchor, Morro Bay, and our second place winner by Jim McInnes.
Good job, Jim.
Good.
Thanks a lot.
By the Barrel or By the Pound by Frank Trump.
That's a great title.
Yes.
Yeah.
The title is a winner.
Yes. Cement Plant and Star Trails by Cheryl Decker. Chain Drive by Ed E. Powell. Drill Press by Tony Martindale. Locomotive by Alan Upshaw. Now That's a Tank by Rosie Brancasio.
Another great title.
Where did you find this tank? That's what I want to know.
It was at Hunter Liggett. I don't know, Hunter Liggett.
Fort Hunter Liggett. Yeah.
Fort Hunter.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yes, that was at Fort Hunter Liggett. Yep.
This is titled Spokes by Penny Powell. Carousel number 1, our first place by Jim McInnes.
Very good.
Good, Jim.
Very
Cool
nice.
picture.
Excellent job, Jim.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Router by Tony Martindale. Smokin' by Alan Upshaw.
Mhm.
The Weaver's Room by Elaine Calvert, and honorable mention.
I really
Okay.
like that.
Yeah,
That
nice,
is a
nice
splendid
image.
photograph, Elaine. That's first rate.
Beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Is that La Priscilla?
That's at La Prisma Mission, yeah.
Charisma, yeah.
You know, I photographed that room myself, and I've never gotten that kind of light, and that's I'm very impressed.
Beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, very nice.
Landing at LAX with Sunburst by Jim McInnes.
All right,
Very good, Jim. Very
Okay,
good
that-
job.
great. So that,
I like the contrails coming off the bottom.
Yeah.
yeah, it was pretty. You know, it's
I think I mean, the images are absolutely amazing. I was blown away by them. And then it took the whole afternoon. I wasn't just like looking. I did 3 passes again and again and looked at them. And few of them were back and forth, back and forth. So I had few of them that I didn't give them a high rating and then gave them a high rating. And I can even tell you the story behind them. So they were back and forth into winning or not winning. But absolutely, some of them are kind of like blew me away, like the spark. I love that all the way. And
Yeah.
then Woody almost gave him like the first one, and then I said this one, and then I said, what else is moving me? And so I went back and forth. So absolutely amazing.
Well, we sure appreciate you judging, Hannah, and I really
Yeah.
appreciate it personally.
And just putting so much thought into it. That's appreciative, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
always good to get opinions from all the different people who have different, either photographic or graphic arts or advertising, because you all see things differently, and we all learn from your comments.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And
And that's why I like to see a lot of the stuff like this. And then sometimes I feel like I would just like to see it and talk about it and not even give you a rating because you're all winner for me. It's just like very difficult to say which one. The few of them that I jumped right away, I can tell you the truth. When I saw the carousel, I said, I want it on my wall
Mhm.
because
that
it
can be
just,
arranged.
yeah, it was just so beautiful. And I said, whoa, that's moving me as a person. Some people could say, well, I just heard the music and saw the movement. And for me, it was really awesome. Who did that?
I did.
Is it?
It's mine, right
Jim
here.
McInnes.
Oh, cool. Oh, thank you for
That's what it's
sending
all
me
about when
the
you can-
$500. No, I'm just kidding. But it
That
was
a
just
tough
beautiful.
subject. It was a tough
Yeah, I
assignment.
mean, yeah, it is a tough assignment. And also, you're looking because I love abstract. So I kind of loved all the abstract. We were trying to this time to find like a little story inside the abstract. And that's why some of the machine did not talk to me. But in general, I do love that. And I do paint stuff that look exactly like this. But I took a different point of view this time. And I said, let me see the story behind that. And I really loved the images. Really awesome.
Yeah, but your commenting was great, and I liked your comments about having a story with the image, and just the general detail you went into and how you judged it was really helpful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Great.
thanks.
Thank you.
That is what it's about. We like it when we can tell a story with our images. So,
Just beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, the topic itself was rather challenging.
yes, definitely.
Who decides on the topics? You guys vote on it every week or every month?
Every year.
Every year.
Uh-huh.
We have
we have 3 topics a year, and everybody in the club can nominate a topic, and then the whole
Mhm.
votes. And we choose the three, obviously, with the highest score.
Great.
Yeah.
Most our competitions are open, so any images.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which,
Great.
which makes it more difficult in some ways to judge because
Oh yeah,
such a
absolutely.
disparity.
Because then, yeah,
Yeah. There's all sorts of different
absolutely.
ways. But we always have them
Yeah.
separated by color in black and white, at least.
And that's also what I like too, because they are kind of like different. It's almost separating the comedy from the drama.
Right.
And, you know, when you're just judging movies and things like this, I always tell people, why the Oscar taking the movies, the comedy and the drama, and putting them to best film? They should just separate them because they're not the same story. So it's almost, I feel like they're kind of different. And I love black and white photography. Just love that. And I started actually my art as a photo etching artist, and it was all black and white. But instead of just photographing, I transferred it to a plate and then printed it.
Mm.
And I studied in New York, and that's how I started in black and white photography.
You were doing monoprints from?
Monoprint, and then I did some all side different sets of that. So I did kind of photo etchings. And I will print them together in New York. When I lived in New York, I worked in Pratt, you know, the graphic center there, and I did printmaking there. That's how what I did in New York. I just did printmaking, and I didn't do it for a very long time, and I do miss it. And I try to kind of do it now, but it's kind of hard because this doesn't help to do the etching because you know all kind of stuff like that. So I do digital painting now, and I paint a lot on my iPad.
Nice.
There's a lot of people
Yeah.
working on the iPad.
Yeah.
David Hockney obviously is the one that comes to mind.
Yeah. Well, he was one of the pioneers that did that, but he's David Hockney, so he got famous right away. We do a lot of fun stuff. I do post it on my Behance page. I do stream on Behance and show my paintings and how do I do my abstract on the iPad. So kind of love to work with it with the Apple Pencil and all that.
Yeah, Hockney is doing large murals on the iPad, and he does them in sections, you know, and
Yes,
they're quite amazing.
absolutely. It's really amazing. Yeah. There's a lot of beautiful art. And Teresa, the one who's judging tomorrow, she does beautiful stuff. Actually, she did my portrait on the iPad last month.
Yeah,
Did you see
came
it,
out
Chuck?
great. Yeah, I did it. Came out
Yeah.
great. It's you. Teresa's great on that.
Yeah. And then she's so great in doing that. So she took my few, I didn't have a normal pictures. So she took 4 of my pictures, she assembled them together, and then from that she did a drawing. Yeah. It came out really, really cool.
Yeah, very good.
Talented.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she's really, really good in what she's doing in that. I don't have the patience for that. My iPad art is an immediate art. It's like 1, 2, 3, and I just paint. So yeah.
Sounds like a photographer.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, very good.
Hey, do we have any other club topics or news?
Well, I want to thank you, Chana, for being our judge. I'm Cheryl Decker, the president, and sorry I came in a little bit late, but really appreciate your helping us today to become better photographers.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
I think Penny, there's something coming up that you might want to talk about. Our Saturday is field trip.
She did earlier.
Yeah, she already did.
I did.
Yeah, I missed it. Okay.
Which is to let people know that the field trip tour from recreation.gov is closed right now. and sold out. And then we will, I'm going to look at my reservation and see if there's any secondary steps that need to be taken, because Flavio brought up that it seems like we might have to choose ourselves to be a group for going into the interior building as a family. So I'll look at that, and then Rosie's going to put out a notice for you.
So are we still meeting to go to the lighthouse?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Oh,
this is
okay.
what's written out. It's just to make sure that we have everything all figured out. If there's more to do besides get a ticket.
I see.
Don't know what are you guys gonna do now, but I would love. Do you want me to show you the picture
Sure.
Teresa did?
Yeah, we'd enjoy that.
Yes, very much.
Yay! That.
That.
Oh, I saw that on your website.
How?
Yes.
Yeah. How cool is that?
That's very
She
cool.
did here, which I loved. I sent her like, first of all, I'm a coffee drinker, so she put me with a lot of coffee there. And then she know I love Illustrator, and she got me earrings here for Illustrator, Creative Cloud, my glasses, and all the software that I work with. She just took the images and did like a beautiful, beautiful image. So I really love it, and I wanted to share it with you guys.
Oh, it's great.
Yes.
So you have
Yeah.
an AI earring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep.
Adobe
Yeah,
Illustrator.
AI earring, because I use Illustrator a lot, and that's why she ended up doing it. And then all the way around, she created a brushing. I think in one of the software, I forgot which one, and she created a brush with AI, PS, and ID, which is InDesign. And she also gave me a necklace, which
Yeah.
is Creative
Yes.
Cloud necklace
Yeah,
over
Creative Cloud.
here.
Yeah.
And my glasses, and she gave me purple hair, which is I loved because I don't have that. And everything that she did is she did the brushes in capture, actually, which is really awesome.
Very good.
So
Well,
wanted to give her a shout. Yeah,
I thought
I loved it.
oh, it's great.
I thought it was beautiful. Yeah,
I thought
she's very talented.
I thought AI was artificial intelligence.
It could be
Was
too,
the
but yeah,
insemination.
yeah. It's Adobe Illustrator.
Yeah, I know.
But it could be. Yeah. So that's what I do anyway.
Either way, I guess.
That's great.
Yes. I used to use it before I retired. Illustrator, that is.
What?
Yeah.
I used to use Adobe Illustrator before I retired.
There's a lot of things I used to use before I retired.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't go there, Jim.
Yeah.
Very good.
Very good. Very good.
So we hope that we can have you back sometime to judge again for us.
Sure, absolutely. And then just like to see the images and like see the creativity around. And then if you guys want to come every Tuesday at 7 p.m., I stream on Behance, and every week I do a different subject. So
And there's
Photoshop and Illustrator on Behance. Yeah.
okay. So there's no invitation or anything like that. You can just go on.
No, I just post it on Facebook or post it on LinkedIn, and then you can just sign in and go in there and leave whenever you want. I just take an hour and talk about something.
And what is that on Tuesdays?
Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Yeah,
Okay.
Pacific time. Yeah.
Awesome.
So if you feel like joining me, you can come. Sometime I get disconnected in the middle and you see me screaming and then I don't come back. You know, it's very kind of easygoing, nothing formal.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So
Forward to it.
Yeah.
thank you so much for inviting me.
Well, thank you,
And,
Chana.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Our
And
Thank you.
You've
Thank
had
you,
a long
guys,
day.
and I'll
Enjoy
see
your
you soon.
evening, have a glass of wine and retire.
okay, I will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right.
Chana.
Bye-bye.
That was a pretty cool image that she showed.
Yeah.
That was an
Yes.
awesome image.
I
Yeah.
saw it on her Behance site, yeah.
Yeah, Teresa does a lot of portraits like that lately. She's done a couple other people I know, and she captures them right on the spot with the character and all the same kind of style. They're really good.
Yeah, that was really good. I mean, you could really tell it was her.
Greg, why is your video off, Greg?
Because I'm protecting your virgin eyes.
Too late.
Do you use Behance a lot?
I have an account, but I don't use it that much. I have a few things on it. I got a free account with Adobe.
I think you all do it, don't you? If
You
you
probably do, yeah. If you, I think
Yeah.
it comes with
if
a
you
subscription.
subscribe, yeah.
So what is Behance? I mean, I've seen it, I've seen things done, but exactly what's the purpose?
It's like a portfolio, but it also, like I said, I haven't done that much with it, but it, you know.
People like Hannah use it as a website.
Yeah.
Okay.
Show their work and videos.
I guess
and
you can
stuff.
do online things like that, or presentations. So
Yeah.
So is it basically every if you use it as a website, they're all the same kind of thing as far as structure goes, and you just add your photos to it?
yeah, you just kind of add your pictures to it.
Just a drag and drop into the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Might be a good subject there, Alan.
Yeah.
Might be a good subject. What?
Yeah, for a
Have someone demo it or something.
So is everybody happy with
Oh.
Hannah?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes, very much.
yeah.
I wasn't sure how she'd judge, so I was a little.
I think I think she did real well.
Yeah.
And I really liked the explanations and the thought
Yeah,
process that
she
went
was
into
very
it.
good.
Yeah.
I
I
thought
just like
that
that we're getting such a variety of judges, you know,
Yeah.
it's been nice.
I thought she could be a little bit more descriptive as to how we would improve. You know, more
Mhm.
specific just to photography, but you know, I know she was taking it more as more of a generalist instead of as a photographer. So
Mhm.
that was a good take because we don't always hear that point of view.
Yeah.
But like she'd say, well, this doesn't have a lot of impact. Well, how would it make more impact? How could we do that?
Mhm.
Different point of view
Yeah.
or such. So
That's true.
And she went through the images fairly quickly. So she could have spent, I mean, she gave a rush over them, but we would have had more time if she wanted it.
Mhm. Good to know.
Since we've been doing it remotely like this, it usually goes through in an hour or.
Yeah, we were a little short of an hour. Well, we were about an hour actually.
Yeah, it's about an hour now anyway.
Yeah.
And no ties to break. I
that was
think
really good.
Yeah.
it was hard for me to figure out the places, which doesn't make sense, but
Well,
normally
she
when
went
there's
out of her
all
way
these
to make sure
ties,
there were
it's
no
like 1,
ties.
2, 3. I had to really look and make sure I had them in the right order.
Yeah.
I have a feeling she worked that out.
I think so too. I
Yeah.
think she did that on
Yeah.
purpose.
All written down, yeah.
Yeah, like Greg said, she didn't. I mean, she purposefully didn't have any ties. I'm sure,
Yeah.
which is good. It's
That's
better
the
than
first
having-
time that we've seen that, really.
Well,
Chuck, did you not show anything, Chuck, because of your connection with her already?
No, I had some stuff on there,
yeah,
but
he had work in.
He had
Okay.
I just always try to make sure that they haven't seen it.
yeah. He
Like-
he entered
Sparks.
He had 1, 2. Wait, one.
The farm equipment, the
Three.
sewing machine,
Yeah.
and the grinder.
Right.
Oh, that's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
I
Okay.
really like the sewing machine, Chuck.
I did too.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Really like the sewing machine.
I
Me
liked
too.
the grinder, the fact that we could actually see the sparks coming off of it. And
Yes,
and
it's good.
the sewing machine, I liked the fact that we could see the movement of the needle. And I thought
That's,
they were
that
really,
was a multiple exposure.
yeah, I thought they were very nice.
Thanks.
I liked a lot of the images, really. And she talked them up, you know, really well. And then I was a little surprised at some of them that didn't do better, but because they were some
I have a
nice images.
question for Alan.
Yeah.
What about the old junk? Then what does she?
It's a bunch of old junk. It's pieces of old machines that were just thrown in a pile.
Well, did you think of it the way that she had interpreted it?
No, I figured, well, the guy was pointing at it, so old junk. I didn't think he was old junk. I mean, he's probably my age, so.
I was threatened with arrest if I showed my old junk.
I just thought that he was pointing at it, so I thought it was kind of like I was speaking. He was speaking through me, or is that I was speaking through him? Whatever.
I thought there was a little story there of some kind. So
I thought that the title had been the auction, that he's like the auctioneer or something. But
well, that's actually at a railroad museum in Maine.
yeah.
Mm.
And it was a pile of old junk.
I'll tell you what, Cheryl, yours was John Deere, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
The title should have been, if you've seen their ads on TV, Nothing Runs Like a Deer. Because it obviously wouldn't run.
You're right. That would have been good.
That would have been good. Was that the cement plant, the one just out east
Austin.
of Santa Maria here? Where you had the,
Oh, yes, yes.
With
Where
the
I saw
starch
you
ring?
that one day.
yeah. Okay, I loved that place. That's it's nice at night. There wasn't a lot of people that were nervous with you being there with your kids.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Is that the one on Foxen Canyon?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
That's a cool place.
what do you guys?
We live about a half mile from there, so.
Yeah.
Did anyone else see the stars?
I went out there and they actually let me in to make photos.
Did they? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Where is that?
When you looked at that image, were you able to see the star trails? Because on
Yeah.
mine, I could see them, but then projected here, I didn't see them.
They're very
Not very
dark.
We could see them.
I saw them on my monitor.
Yeah, I saw them too.
Yeah.
What if for the next competition we submit all the same images and see what happens?
And see, yeah, it would be interesting to see a different judge judging things. That would be.
Yeah.
Very subjective.
Well,
The people who got the winners can't do that.
Yeah, I know. There's reasons not to do it, but it's just for fun.
it would be fun.
It would be interesting.
I'm sure that the results would be completely different. I'm sure they would be.
Well, I'm not so sure about that. I think some of the top images were images in anyone's mind. But I think some of the ones that didn't score as well, that some of that opinion might be different with a different judge.
Yeah.
Well,
I
those
can
are-
tell you, and I think probably many other people have had the same experience. You can enter a photograph here and get totally pooped on, and you enter it somewhere else and you get, first place or best of show. Even that's happened to me 3 times, each time with the same judge who gave me a low score and I got best of show somewhere else. And I've talked to other photographers at the San Luis Club, and that it's happened to them also, where they've, one competition they do really bad, the same photograph in another competition is, a top score. It's just the nature of the beast, and she addressed that too. She says, somebody else is looking for different things and somebody's seeing different things, and you're never going to get around that. But it's nice to have external opinions from outside the club.
Yeah.
I know there was a time, I know the SLO club talked about it, and I think our club talked about having internal judging, but I told the guys at the SLO, I says, well, you do that and your photos are going to you're going to get a narrower stylization of your photos as it becomes just, here's what this group likes and nothing else is going to go. And you're going to lose a lot of that potential for expanding what you're going to see and what you're going to present and what you're going to try to do with your cameras. And so I don't think that's a good idea. I think it's nice to have, whether you agree or not with the results, it's nice to get an outside opinion, someone who's seeing it totally different than the group that is presenting the photography.
Well, that's what's nice about the online judging now. We can get judges all over the area and not limited to the same judges that we've been doing before.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this guy's we know how he judges, and
Yes, I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had no idea how she would judge, so I
thought she did all right.
Yeah.
Having said which, subject, it may well have been better for a male judge. Machines,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah.
I was surprised that I did as well as I did, because I looked at her website, and after I had already submitted my photographs, and I thought, well, she's not gonna like the stuff I do, that's for sure. But I got an honorable mention out of it. I guess that's okay. But it's just different strokes for different folks. That's just the way.
I kind of agree. You know, maybe I'm a male judge might have judged a little bit differently, just loving machinery more. Realized more than once that she didn't really like machinery. So I'm not surprised that some things that some of us liked maybe didn't score as well. But, you know, okay, is what it is, you know.
But you know, she told us she has a very broad background in art. And you know, that would open her up to things that she didn't necessarily study, or it just opens up your horizons, and as a judge you become more flexible and more interested in things. So I think her background really kind of maybe negated that female machinery kind of thing that you're talking about.
I'm not so sure about that, but I do think that she has a very strong eye for composition and for what is artistically done well in photography. And her choices, in my opinion, were excellent for our top images. I just think that some of the ones that she did not score as well, maybe should have scored better, because they were really geared to machinery. And I don't think she just liked looking at machinery. I don't know.
Yeah, but you know, when you have that background, you understand composition, you understand lighting, you understand, you know, all the things that you need to understand, and you would apply those to whatever image you're looking at. And so I don't think the subject matter is that important in that you know, in that vein.
Yeah.
Well, Powell's fifth law says that it's better to make an interesting photograph of a boring subject than a boring photograph of an interesting subject.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
And I made a whole lot of the latter, and I still do.
We all do, Ed.
You know, some of my favorites are, you know, here's just a very prosaic subject, and here's, you know, and I've been able to make something that's very interesting, and at least I like a lot. In fact, I think I showed one recently of, it was going to the lighthouse, you'll see where I made the photograph. It's an old motel near the lighthouse. And it's got a door with a 3 on it. There's an eave of a roof coming down. I don't think it did very well in competition, but it's very prosaic. But I like the structure, and I like the simplicity and the sort of a gestalt thing about it. But as a subject, you know, how much boring can you get? But I do like the photograph, and I've seen others, some of the stuff shown here also, the same thing. It's you know, why would you photograph that? But it turns out it's a really interesting photograph, and that's kind of what we're after.
Well,
Edward Weston proved that point when he photographed that pepper. Yeah, I mean, he would make a pepper, you know, just a common everyday pepper could be so beautiful.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing.
About the light. It's just the light and how you see it and portray it. So that's all a challenge.
Well, the corollary to Ed's is that it's much better to have an artistic photo than a technically perfect photo.
Yes.
Yeah. We all need to read. It doesn't have to be sharp.
That's right. And it's right. Oops. Where is it?
It won't, because it's got a fake background on.
Oh yeah, but
I can see as your background.
That's creepy. What is that, Jim?
Oh well. What?
That's his harem.
What background is that?
That's Jim's harem.
Not the background.
That's my
Jim.
He invite some friends to his house.
It's a farm, it's a bar scene.
Okay.
I think I'll have to get a Clockwork Orange background.
Oh, please spare us.
Greg, we see you. Yay.
Who?
Hey,
Greg,
buddy.
Put my clothes on.
thank you.
You're welcome.
When's your next ordeal, Greg?
I had an infusion this morning.
This today? Well, okay.
Yeah.
You feeling okay with that?
Actually, I'm doing very well.
Oh,
You
That's
look like
good.
you're doing all right.
Good.
For an old guy, you look like
I'm
you're doing
off
all
for
right.
the next 2 weeks, and then I have another 10-hour infusion on the 30th.
Oh, wow. 10 minutes.
Yeah, tough.
Hey, what else am I going to do?
That's right.
Yeah. You got your extra battery packs for your
Oh,
iPad?
yes, I do. I go fully loaded, my tablet, extra battery packs, I sit there and read, watch movies,
Yeah.
entertain the staff with my bad humor.
are you going up to Mission Hope or someplace else?
They have me going to the new Matthew Will facility in AG.
Perfect. I love it. Good job.
Anyhow,
Jim, you did a good job. Thank you for covering for me.
Oh, you're welcome.
yep, he did it. It worked well.
Well, it didn't start off well. When I,
You said you were having problems, but it
yeah, I
looked
had,
all right to us.
yeah, I did a schedule, and when I clicked schedule itself, or yes, anyway, the whole WebEx thing went away, and it didn't send out an invite, and so then I didn't know. Well, I had to talk to Tony and Greg to find out if they'd gotten an invite, because I didn't want to send out another invite, so there would be two of them. But fortunately, when WebEx died, it didn't send out any invites. So,
You did good, Jim. It worked. Thank
okay.
you.
Yeah.
Just
Good
to
job.
FYI,
Say
on
what?
most WebEx activities that we do,
Uh,
I usually get about 4 invitations.
really?
And I don't know why, but I always get multiple invitations, and it doesn't bother me. I just pick one and it works. So
That's weird. I get one.
yeah, no, I usually get 3 at the minimum.
Well, but see, if
Well, are you counting Ron's as well? Because we have your email address and Ron's email address in there separately.
Yeah, no, but I'm talking about just on my email.
Huh.
Yeah.
We can open it up.
Popular, that's all.
Well, look at the list and make sure that you don't have multiple addresses.
But
you know.
I didn't say it because I'm not complaining. It's not a problem. I'd rather get
Sure,
3
you're
than
complaining.
none.
Otherwise, you wouldn't have brought it up, Elaine.
I'm just,
Folks, we're gonna take off. I hope I'm gonna see some of you on Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay.
See you Saturday.
Good night.
Yeah, I hope so.
I'd love
Bye,
to.
Saturday.
Well,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Something about a lighthouse.